Hi, everybody. 3:30 on what has been kind of a rock and roll day. I like to say when we have a mix of rain and then heavy downpours, potentially some embedded hail, and at least a few strikes of lightning being detected. That's the recipe for what we've had so far on this Wednesday. Right in here, this is going to look, see the little rump boom. You had to look carefully, but you saw a few lightning strikes. Those are the little X's being detected here on the west side. Here they come, bump, 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 and then a few of them out toward the Idaho border as well. So yes, we have had a little bit of lightning. I haven't seen reports of hail, but if you look at the radar up close over here, see the bright colors that are now moving. Well, we've got some on the west side and then up some north of Salmon Creek. Got to think that's a combination of really heavy rain and at least potentially some small hail as well. And if you look, you see the scattered showers still all the way back up toward Astoria. There is a rotation in all of this, and that is the upper level low, which I'm going to show you in just a minute. The temperatures have really been chilly today. By far, this has been the coolest afternoon that we've seen so far this fall season. I mean, it's what, 3:30 in the afternoon. This is showing it's 50 degrees. We've really seen much of Oregon up into Washington spend the majority of today only in the 40s. And if PDX would get a heavy shower in the coming half an hour over the airport, it would drop back down into the 40s. So definitely a chilly day and a pretty good forecast overall. All right. When we go up to the mountain, remember that was one of the big initial stories that we would wake up this morning for the very first time and see significant snow sticking to the Cascade passes and a pretty good little snow event up at Timberline. All of that has come true. Timberline, 26 degrees. You can see the solid snow on the ground. Now, Government Camp is at just above freezing, 32.7. Notice the snow on the ground, but the roadway's wet. And in fact, here's Santiam Pass, and even here's Willamette Pass, which often can be a nightmare of a travel experience, but that is also wet with a temperature of 30. Generally speaking, on that asphalt, when the temperature gets to 30 or better, combination of Mother Nature, warming, and ODOT, they really get those highways in pretty good shape. Travelers going up over the high country tonight would experience some, freezing conditions of the wet roads and some re-icing on those highways. But so far, it's been in pretty good shape up there. Okay, so let's show you what's been going on. The winter weather advisory for the Cascades, that will end later this afternoon or possibly be extended into the evening, but it will end at some point tonight. Timberline just updated these 14 inches on the ground. That's a pretty confident observation from the ski resort. Government Camp, this is a little bit of guesswork, but it looks like they've got at least 4 or 5 inches, and maybe there could be as much of 8 inches that's fallen. Again, that's roadside at this point, but the travel alert for potential snow-covered or icy roads continues into early this evening, as I mentioned. So that's what's going on up in the mountain. Here's the setup, by the way. Let me go ahead and just make this a little bit fuller for you. Pardon me. Boom. Here it comes. It should be. All right, here we go. Yeah. So let's start over here. Right in here, there's the cold front that came in yesterday. That's the one that produced all that steady rain. That's now almost cleared southeastern Oregon and dropped down into California. You can see a surface low pretty much moving into Portland. And if you look over here on the right, this is the upper level flow pattern map. And this is the main engine for what we've had today. Some breaks in the action, but numerous showers and at times embedded downpours with probably some hail, and certainly we've had lightning detected. This upper level low has been slowly crossing right over the Rose City. It's going to continue to move off tonight. And actually during the day today, if you go up to the northwest of the low, we've seen some breaks in the cloud cover in Cannon Beach and Astoria. So evidence that once this low gets just a little bit more down into central Oregon, eventually drops out of our region, we'll see drying take hold tonight. So the forecast is kind of on track. By the way, see there's a second low back here, but then this is what we call ridging. Follow the contour lines between the two lows. See the big ridge right here? That's a block right in here. And this is upper level ridging that will start to move in really on Friday afternoon into Saturday. We'll get into a very dry, very clear weather pattern coming up. Okay, so let's talk about what's the next phase. So we've got dry weather taking hold pretty quickly, I think, this evening. And then we'll wake up to dry weather tomorrow morning. And then I still think there's a chance of a shower developing Thursday afternoon, evening. Friday, not a 0% chance of rain, meaning there's a slight chance, but looks like it's probably a dry day. And then we get into the clearing that takes us into the colder nights we've been talking about for the weekend. So this is Saturday morning. This is the European model. And all this blue color here, this is that cold air mass of 5,000 feet temperature-wise from Canada that's dropping down across Oregon, Washington, into Nebraska. Surface high pressure. The position of the highs would send us a bit of an east wind, and that's why the temperature projections for this weekend are really all over the board. I'm going to show you that in a moment. But you can see this is a large batch of cooler air that's going to eventually drop through Missouri into the Ohio Valley and even down into parts of Texas. So not just us, but a lot of the country is going to get a cool off from this Canadian batch of air that's coming down. So this is Saturday morning. These are temperature projections. Notice this particular model goes 30 in Portland, mid-20s over in Central Oregon, Bend, Sun River area, 24, 26. And then I circled up in Spokane, 22. That would be, I think, Salem 34, Albany 32. So again, some coldest temperatures that we've seen, at least here on the west side of the state, really by far. And that's what's still coming, I think, to a good chunk of the valley as we get into this weekend. So once we see most of the precipitation end tonight, and then we get through just a shower chance, the PM hours of tomorrow, all of the headlines will focus on this: a frosty morning, potentially in the valley, Saturday, Sunday, Monday mornings with clear skies. So remember I said east winds. We talked about this yesterday. Calm wind areas, the air is cold enough that we would see 26 to 32 degree temperatures in the Willamette Valley and up in Southwest Washington. Again, this is Saturday, Sunday, Monday mornings. Breezy east wind areas would only take an east wind of 5 to 10 miles per hour, which I think some areas will have, especially out near the Columbia River. Maybe not all 3 mornings, but at least 1 or 2 of them. Could be 35 to 40, just a touch of east wind. So it's going to be a big variety of temperatures, as I mentioned, but certainly killing frost in some areas, with the thermometer, let's say Saturday morning, going 26 in some areas, other areas with an east wind and temperatures nearing 40 degrees. So if you have some garden spots, garden boxes, you've been keeping them going, you haven't lost anything, you'll want to protect those this weekend or potentially just say goodbye, right? Okay. Here is the 7-day forecast. So tomorrow, dry morning. I do believe there's that chance of a scattered shower or two in the afternoon, evening hours. Tonight, chilly. I mean, we could potentially drop into the 30s. It depends on what the cloud cover does. If the winds stay fairly light tonight and the clouds break, we would drop into the 30s. It's a bit of an unknown. If the clouds kind of hold in some areas, we'd be closer to about 40 for a low. Friday, again, not a 0% chance of rain, but mostly dry. Partly sunny skies, 53. And then again, this is the automated 7-day. I haven't changed it over to my own work yet. So this automated product from the National Weather Service is picking up an east wind Saturday morning in 38, an east wind Sunday morning in 42, an east wind, this would be out along the Columbia River at PDX, and 45 Monday morning. But you take away that east wind. So let me talk about, let's say, Salem. Saturday morning, 30 degrees, maybe 28, 29. Sunday the same. Monday, 32, maybe 35. And then we cloud up and we all start to get back into more of a mild maritime flow on Tuesday. And then Wednesday is that Nick system still coming in. That's November 1st with likely rain. But there's no worry about winter weather on the backside of the chilly weather that we'll have this weekend. So that looks like that is going to be just fine. Okay. So I do believe, I wanted to show you one more thing if I can. Let me bring up the National Weather Service. Okay. This is the homepage on the National Weather Service. This is a great resource. Again, their website, it's nice for you to write it down, weather.gov/PQR. It's not PDX, it's PQR. That's the site station abbreviation for the actual Weather Service office, which is just east of 205. Anyway, so this is the winter weather advisory up and down the Cascades, and that's what expires later today. But then notice up in here, this is a frost advisory, which includes you folks in Cowlitz County and the northward. And this is for tonight. And then we have a freeze warning over in the Dalles and much of, not the Dalles itself, but south of the Dalles as you get up in elevation in Wasco County. So let me click on this frost advisory and we'll read it together here. Frost advisory tonight, 10 p.m. through Thursday morning, 9 a.m. This includes Castle Rock, Willapa, Tootle. See if they give a temperature projections. Yeah, they're going low temperatures near to generally above freezing, but they're predicting certainly up in elevation, some cold pockets, some areas of light frost. So again, temperatures are going to be watched very carefully in the coming days, no doubt about that. And once again, there's Portland's. Oh, I messed up. Once again, there's Portland's 7-day forecast. And with that, I'll remind you my weather site's portlandweather.com. Thanks for subscribing to my YouTube video, and kind of curious to see how low the temperatures could go this weekend. I'll talk to you soon. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill.